Most men over 60 think they're in good shape. Almost none are in the 3%. So here's a 5-minute test. 5 questions. Answer them honestly. By the end, you'll know exactly where you stand. No guessing. And honestly, most men fail question 4 without ever realizing it. Let's find out which man you actually are. Right now. Here's why this test matters more than any mirror. The mirror lies. It shows you what you want to see. These 5 questions don't care about your ego. They measure the truth. Whether your body still works, whether it still commands a room, whether you're aging like the 97% or overriding it. Because the 3% isn't about looking good in a photo, it's about a body that obeys you and a presence people feel. 5 questions. Score yourself as we go. Keep count. Tell yourself the truth on each one. That's the whole point. Think about it. You already know men your age who seem 10 years younger, and you know men the same age who seem 10 years older than they are. Same birthday, completely different bodies. That gap is what we are measuring. It's not luck, and it isn't genetics for most men. It's a handful of habits. These 5 questions expose exactly which side of that gap you're on. No flattery, no excuses. Just an honest read on where you really stand. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one in this series. Here's what's coming so you know what to stay for. Question 1 tests whether your body can still get off the floor. Question 2 tests the strength you can't fake at a glance. Question 3 tests whether you've kept the muscle most men lose. But question 4 is the one that actually separates the 3%. It's not about your muscles at all. It's about how you carry them. Stay for question 4. It's the one almost everybody fails. And question 5? That one tells you if it'll last. Let's begin. First, the test most men give themselves. It's worthless. They glance in the mirror, suck it in, and decide they're fine. Look, a mirror only measures one thing. How you look, frozen for a second. It says nothing about whether your body actually works anymore. Others test themselves by the scale. An even worse lie. The scale can't tell muscle from fat. A lean man and a soft one weigh the same. And some men just compare themselves to other men their age. But the men around you mostly quit years ago? That's a low bar. Beating men who gave up doesn't put you in the 3%. Here's the thing. A real test measures function, not appearance. Can your body do what a strong man's body does? That's the question. 5 of them, actually. And they don't lie. Let's start. One more thing before we begin. Do not prejudge your score. Men who think they will ace it often stumble on the simplest one. And men who fear the worst sometimes surprise themselves. Stay open. Honestly, the score matters less than what you do with it. A low number today is just a starting line, not a verdict. A high number is only worth keeping if you defend it. So take it straight. No flinching, no inflating. Ready? Good. Here's question 1, and it's the one that predicts the most. Pay attention to this one. We come back to it later, and it matters. Let me be blunt about why the wrong tests are so tempting. The mirror and the scale both let you off easy. They flatter you. You suck in, you stand right, you read a number, and you feel fine. But none of that helps you off the floor when you're 75. A real test is uncomfortable because it shows you the gap honestly. And the gap is exactly where your next year of progress lives. So we measure what your body does, not how it looks for a photo. 5 honest questions. That's the whole test. Here's how it works. So forget the mirror. Forget the scale. We're testing the truth. 5 questions a fit man passes and a soft man can't. Honestly now, keep score. Here's question 1. Question 1. Can you get down to the floor and back up using one hand or none? Sit all the way down to the floor. Then stand back up. Count how many points of support you use. A hand, a knee, the furniture. No hands, no knees? That's elite. One hand, still strong. Need both hands in a chair to haul yourself up? That's a warning. This isn't a party trick. It measures your legs, balance, and core at once. And we'll come back to why this exact test predicts something serious. Here's why this one predicts so much, and we'll prove it with research later. Getting off the floor needs your legs, your balance, and your core together. Most men don't fail it because they're weak in one spot. They fail everywhere a little. If you needed 2 hands and a grunt, don't be embarrassed. Be honest and mark it. That's 1 point or 0. Either way, you just learned something true about your body. Question 2. Grip. Can you open a tight jar without straining? Grip strength is the one thing you can't fake in a handshake. It quietly tracks the strength of your whole body. If jars beat you, if your handshake's gone soft, that's a real signal. A strong man's grip says capable before he says a word. 2 questions down. Keep your score. Question 3 gets harder. Before we move on, sit with these first 2 for a second. They are not random. They measure the body you actually live in. Getting off the floor, opening a jar, carrying your own bags. This is the difference between independent and dependent at 70. A man who passes these stays in charge of his own day. A man who fails them slowly hands that control to other people. And honestly, nobody warns you when that handover starts. It happens one skip test, one avoided lift at a time. These questions catch it early while you can still turn it around. One quick note on grip before we move on, because it's underrated. Doctors track grip strength for a reason. It mirrors your whole body strength. A firm handshake at 65 tells people you're still a force. A limp one tells them the opposite, before you say a single word. So if your grip has faded, mark it honestly. It's fixable and fast. Quick reminder, we're building to question 4, the one that separates the 3%. It's coming, but first question 3, and it's a visible one. Question 3, do you still have visible muscle? Shoulders, arms, a back that holds shape? Stand relaxed, not flexing. Look at your shoulders and arms. Is there shape there? Or has it gone soft and flat? Most men over 60 have lost it. They walk, they stretch, they shrink. If you've kept real muscle into your 60s, you're already rare. Not bodybuilder big, lean and strong, the build that reads as alive. Give yourself the point only if it's honestly there. No flexing allowed. 3 down. Now, the question that actually divides the room. But hold on, let's be fair about question 3 for a moment. Losing muscle with age is real. It happens to almost everyone, up to 1% a year after 60, if you do nothing. But here's what they never tell you. That number describes the passive. Men who lift heavy keep their muscle and often build more. So a soft frame at 60 is not your age talking. It's your choices, which is good news because choices are the one thing you can change. Remember question 1, the floor test? Here's why it matters so much. Researchers in Brazil tested 2,000 adults on that exact movement. Brito and colleagues, 2012, adults aged 51 to 80. They scored each person on getting to the floor and back up. Then they followed them for years, and the results were stark. The lowest scorers had up to a 5 to 6-fold higher risk of dying, 5 to 6 times, from one simple test of strength and balance. That floor test isn't a gimmick. It's one of the cleanest survival signals there is, which means the strength you're testing today isn't about looks. It's about how many good years you've got left. That's the real stake. So if you failed question 1, don't shrug it off. It's the loudest one. Think about what that study really means for a second. One simple movement, and it tracked who lived and who didn't. Not a lab machine, not a blood test, just sitting and standing. That move needs leg strength, balance, and a strong core all at once. Lose those 3, and your body is quietly telling you something. Keep them strong, and you've bought yourself years. Real ones. That's why the 3% train. Not for the mirror, for the years. One more thing about that floor test because it reframes everything. Every question on this list is really asking the same thing. Is your body still an asset, or has it quietly become a liability? An asset opens doors, carries its own weight, and turns heads. A liability needs help, avoids stares, and fades into the background. The test tells you which one you're carrying right now. That's the gift in it. Now question 4, the one you stayed for, the real divider. Walk into a room. Does it register you or look right past you? This is presence, and it's the one thing muscle alone won't buy you. You can be strong and still shrink. Shoulders folded, eyes down, small, or you stand tall, open, unhurried, and the room reorganizes around you. Be honest. When you enter a room, do people feel it or not? Most men can't say yes. That's why question 4 separates the 3%. Strength earns it, but you still have to decide to stand in it. That's not vanity. That's sovereignty. Deciding what your body says first. The 3% walk in owning the space. Give yourself the point only if that's you. And here's the part most men get backwards about presence. They think it is loud, big voice, big gestures, taking over. It's the opposite. Real presence is quiet, settled, and sure. It's a man who doesn't need the room, and the room feels that. You can't fake it. But a strong body makes it almost automatic. Stand in a body you're proud of, and standing tall stops being work. Here's the quiet truth about question 4. It's the one men feel the most. You can hide a soft body under a jacket. You can't hide how you carry it. Presence is the part of you that walks in before you do. Build the body, then decide to stand in it. That's the whole of question 4. Question 5. Are you stronger this year than last, or just maintaining? This is the one that tells you if any of it will last. A body that isn't getting stronger is quietly getting weaker. No middle. If you're lifting the same weight you did a year ago, that's a no. The 3% add weight over time. That's the whole secret. So total your score. 5 questions. How many honest yeses? 4 or 5, you're genuinely in the 3%. Respect. 2 or 3, you're close. The gaps are fixable and fast. 0 or 1, don't look away. That's exactly why you found this. Here's the mistake men make next. They take the test, then nothing changes. Knowing your score means nothing if you don't move on it this week. So pick your lowest answer. That is your starting point. Just one. Failed the floor test? Your legs and core need the work first. Soft grip, soft muscle? Then it's time to actually lift something heavy. No presence? That one fixes itself as the body gets strong. And every single answer improves with the same simple protocol. Let's talk about that 5th question, because men misread it constantly. They think maintaining is winning. At our age, maintaining is slowly losing. Your body is always moving one direction or the other, up or down. If the weight on the bar never changes, you're drifting down. Quietly, the fix is almost insultingly small. A little more weight when you've earned it. That's the difference between a man who plateaus and one who keeps climbing. And honestly, that climb is the most addictive part once it starts. So whatever you scored today, the path up is the same for everyone. So here's how you fix every question on that test. 1 protocol, 3 days a week, non-consecutive, that's the whole schedule. 5 compound lifts each session, push-pull, squat, hinge, and carry or overhead. Those 5 fix your floor test, your grip, and your muscle at once. 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps on each one. Tempo 3-1-1. 3 seconds down, 1 pause, 1 up. 90 seconds rest between sets. Enough to lift heavy again. And add 2.5 to 5 pounds when all 3 sets feel clean. That last rule is what turns a passing score into a permanent one. 3 days, 5 lifts, heavier over time. Every question answered. Notice how simple that is. 5 movements, 3 mornings, a little more weight. There's nothing exotic here. No machines you can't find, no tricks, no shortcuts. The 3% aren't doing something complicated. They're doing the basics, loaded. And they do it while the other 97% look for an easier answer. Run this for a year and retake the test. You'll pass questions you failed today. Drop your score in the comments out of 5. Be honest, 0 to 5. I read everyone, no judgment, just the truth. The men who post a low number are usually the ones who change. Here's the truth, almost no man your age is told. The 3% aren't gifted. They just kept score and kept going. You made it to the end and you took the test. That already sets you apart. Now you might wonder what people actually notice about a fit man your age. I asked 300 women exactly that. The answers will surprise you. Watch this one next. It's the perfect follow-up to your score. I asked 300 women what makes a fit man over 60 stand out. It's on screen right now. Tap it, then go fix your lowest score.